Yo, what up, hey? How you doing, guys? My name is Sangiev. Today we are back with another video. First of all, Happy New Year. This is our first video of the year 2019. Hope you guys had an amazing night. Hope you guys had an amazing 2 weeks over the festive periods, whatever it is you celebrate. I'm super thankful and grateful for all your support over the last year, and I'm very much looking forward to next year. I think it's going to be an absolute banger. Now, I've done this video last year where I wrapped things up with regards to the biggest fashion moments of the year 2017. It did quite well. You guys seem to like it, so I thought I'd do one again for this year, and a lot has happened across the men's world anyway. So we're going to be discussing things on both the streetwear end and on the high-end designer end of things. And as I said to you guys previously, the line between the two is very much blurred, so everything goes at the moment. And we're going to start off with the number one biggest thing that's happened in the year 2018, sorry, is your boy released this chain, and there's only a couple left. So if you wish to go support it and go cop, links will be in the description box down below. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has purchased it. I know that a few of you guys have started receiving it, and I'm so happy to see you guys love it just as much as I do. So thank you. Links in the description box down below. Look at that banger. Ooh, shit's clean. But on to a more serious topic, one brand that has absolutely killed it in the year of 2018 has been Prada. I called it in my 2017 video, and I was right. I was right on the money, man. That kind of ties into my point that I genuinely think that Prada is going to have an amazing 2018. I could be completely wrong, but mark my words, I do believe that they're going to absolutely kill it. I think they had a tremendous year. They put out so many items that many people could relate to, and I think it was one of the brands that really championed the whole streetwear aesthetic within their pieces, and that obviously translated very well because they had booming sales, and it was just very much the most relevant brand of 2018 overall. I think, be it if you were into streetwear, if you were into more designer, almost everyone that I knew or that I know that is into fashion had one or two pieces from Prada, be it their Linea Rosa stuff, their mainline stuff, their sport line, and everything else. So Prada absolutely killed it, and that is the sort of the big dog of the year, right? If we were to talk about a more low-key brand that, in my opinion, has done some very good bits, and I'm very much looking forward to what they're presenting next year, will be a Cold Wool. Obviously, compared to Prada, it's still a baby, but they've been doing absolute bits, man. They released some cool accessories, some cool products, some shoes collaboration that they did with Nike. Sold out all of them. I think they did an Air Force pair, and they did the Vomero, which I showcased in my previous video. Just amazing stuff. And I love Sam Ross, man. I love his vision. Super humble, creative dude. He actually took home emerging menswear designer of the year, I want to say, at the BFC. So massive shout out to you. Not that you'd ever watch this video, but who knows, massive shout out to you. And I think that's one brand that will do wonders next year and in the years to come. Now, that's that for brands. We're going to move on to trends that have been big. Now, right off the bat, we're going to talk about big, bulky shoes. Now, these haven't been a trend just for 2018. It's something that happened in 2017 with the Triple S coming on the scene. And 2018, they just haven't stopped. Now, truth be told, I thought that by 2018, people will get bored of it, or people will move on to different things. But to my surprise, shoes are just as bulky, and this time they've actually reached a bigger market. It used to be just the fashion-savvy people that would wear the big, bulky shoes. Now, even high street retailers have big, bulky shoes, and that means the general public, everyone's wearing some big bulky shoes, and a lot of them are wearing them with skinny jeans, which I have my opinions about it, but hey, do whatever you want to do. So big bulky shoes, massive thing. And what I liked about this year in particular is how brands have taken the idea of bulky shoes but then put their twist to it. So Balenciaga, obviously you've got the Triple S, but then they came out with the trail runners. I completely forgot the name. The track runners, the sneakers basically, that they've released this year. Again, it still has that bulky nature to it, but it looks a lot more athletic and just has such a cooler vibe, at least in my opinion. I've got both, and I prefer the Track Runner, although the Triple S is the OG. I love the look of the Track Runner. And other designers have put their little twists here and there to kind of go with the whole bulk, but still refresh it and make it interesting and new. So that is I can go as far to say that was the number one trend of 2018. Number two trend, okay, perhaps not number two, but a big one that I remember, are neon colors. Man, have neon colors been absolutely popping this year. Be it this fluorescent green, orange, pink, yellow. People have just been going color crazy, and that's amazing because obviously people normally tend to shy away from colors, but this whole trend has kind of allowed everyone to just express themselves in crazy ways. Now again, Prada killed this trend with their Linea Rosa line, which was endorsed by many celebrities, which kind of allowed for people to see that and be like, okay, cool, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. But plenty of other brands have included neon colors. I think it looks awesome. Some people have pulled them off really well. Some people have done less so, but I still think it's an amazing thing to see people wearing more colors. It's just a more colorful world. And then tying into the neon colorful aspect of things, there was a big movement of 3M material pieces. Now 3M has always been somewhat prominent, especially in the streetwear world, but now more so than ever I see a lot of brands utilizing it in very interesting manner, be it the trimmings or just entire pieces with that fabric. And I think it's an awesome thing that we can look forward to seeing a lot more next year, but that was already quite big this year. Quite the mouthful. Another one being the grandpa trend. Now we saw 2017 as being the sort of the birth, 2016, 2017, the birth of the dad trend, where everything kind of had a dad vibe to it. I think 2018 was the grandpa vibe. We took it a step further. Cardigans were booming, especially pattern cardigan, very sort of granddad-esque. Beige trousers are everywhere. Shout out to the boy Maggie. Cords were very prominent, and if you wanted to replicate that look but still kind of keep somewhat of a fashionable edge to it, then people opted for a lot of the plissé Miyake pieces, the whole socks and slides thing, which again has been a big thing in fashion and in sports culture anyway. But now more so than ever, my god, everyone had a pair of socks and slides, be it the ones that are like the Visvims, the Pradas, or Sui Cokes, or the Tava, I think that's what they called, the one that kind of just cages around the foot. I think the grandpa trend is awesome, and what I love the most about it is that each piece can be taken away from it and still be worn in a completely different manner for the future, for example, which is lovely. Then the final trend of the year of 2018 has been the rebirth of the, I don't know how many times I've said the word rebirth or birth, but the rebirth of the 90s trends, sort of very oversized, baggy. I said this in my last year's video. Yes, trousers were getting wider, cuts were getting looser, but there was definitely an element of 90s in the year 2018. Now, I don't know if this was just prominent in the streetwear world, but I'd like to think that a lot of fashion designers on their runway kind of had that 90s element to it. So those were the sort of big trend / moment of 2018. And tying into those trends, I got to give a massive shout out to the boy Sean Weatherspoon with the release of his shoe. Absolutely killed it, man. I think that shoe was quite potentially the biggest release, like the most hype. There's been a lot of hype shoes this year, let's be honest, but that is definitely the pair that stands out to me. Super creative, super original, and just such a cool idea, well executed. Obviously, he's very passionate about the whole project, and that kind of shined through the piece, and the fact that so many people were dying and eager to get their hands on that pair of shoes. So massive shout out to the boy Sean for the year of 2018, because I think you absolutely killed it. And I think it's fair to say that that shoe is perhaps in the top 3 best or biggest sneaker released this year, but I'm not a sneakerhead. So celebrity best dress, in my opinion, it's still the reigning champion from last year, and that is A$AP Rocky. This guy just can dress, man. He is putting everyone else to shame, at least in my opinion, within the celebrity world anyway. The guy can dress really, really well. It's been apparent over the past few years. I think last year is the year that he kind of cemented himself as the king, and this year he kind of kept the throne, kept the reign of the best dressed celebrity, perhaps within the sort of hip-hop streetwear world. I think he's miles ahead of Kanye. Kanye's doing his own thing at the moment, but yeah, so A$AP Rocky killing the game with his fire fits, and I think there's a lot of inspiration that can be drawn, and he kind of does his own thing, man. Like, some of it I fuck with heavily, some of it I think, what the hell are you doing? But at the same time, it's like, cool, you're doing you, and I appreciate that. Like, that whole Gucci, Grandma, Silk, Babushka vibe that he's got going on, fair play. Like, I wouldn't do it. I took the piss out of it when I did it. You already know who the fuck it is. Your boy Young Pretty Flock or A$AP Rocky. You already know what it is, man. Gang shit, y'all. I can see it. I can see the vision. Low-key kind of fuck with it. So yeah, you're killing that. And fair play to anybody doing their own thing. And now we're going to move on to someone that has had a massive buzz around this year, and you can't do a video wrapping up 2018's biggest fashion moments without mentioning the boy Virgil Abloh. First of all, he became artistic or creative director of the men's line at Louis Vuitton. Got to give credit where it's due. It's a super smart move on LV's behalf. Great move for Virgil himself. They're gonna make money. They are gonna sort of raise the brand awareness, and it's a sort of win-win-win-win on all ends. The men's clientele wasn't massive. They didn't have a crazy selection of pieces. Don't get me wrong, Kim did a phenomenal job there, but I think Virgil will have more of an impact through his use of accessories and bringing a cool element to LV. Do I think he deserved the gig? Me personally, I think they are better designers, but you know, that's always been my stance on some of Virgil's work. I think he's a great accessory designer. I think he's a great stylist. As far as actual clothing designs go, I don't know, like perhaps it's just not my cup of tea and someone else might absolutely love it, but I think it's interesting to see what he's going to do. And obviously a massive shout out to anyone that's able to kind of break down doors and open new territory for others to come through. So that alone deserves a massive standing ovation for the man like Virgil. So that was his LV chapter. Then we're talking about the Nike, the 10. This is why I'm saying he's a great accessories footwear designer. I think the collection, the whole 10 or however many that released now through all the different colorways, it's just been an amazing thing to see. He's absolutely killed it, and he called it quits, which I think is very smart because the hype is very much real. The pieces that have released will probably double, triple in value over the upcoming few years, and it's just been a good body of work without it being too diluted and too much of, which is something that if we take a look at Yeezy, for example, although Kanye's goal was different from Virgil, Kanye wanted everyone to have Yeezys.
I didn't want them to be limited, actually. That's something that the company did. I really want as many people to get them as possible.
It became so diluted that people aren't really feeling it anymore. The more available it became, unfortunately to them, that just meant that the product was less cool, which is actually a great thing, because if anybody buys something just for hype, just don't. It's shit. Just let it, just be passionate about the product, and that will shine through a lot more within your pieces. To kind of finish this video off, we're going to talk about the massive musical chairs that was the year 2018, with all the designers hopping from various places to places. We're going to start off with my guy Haider Ackerman. He left Baluti. It was understandable to me. I kind of saw it coming, but it was still sad. I think the pieces at Baluti were absolutely incredible. It was a combination of two worlds that came together beautifully. I'm gutted that I didn't get an opportunity, probably won't get an opportunity to copy any pieces from his time there, just because they're ridiculously expensive. But who knows, in the future, I might, once I'm stacking P, I might go back and cop some pieces from Baluti whilst Haider was there. And then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Hedi Slimane at Celine. Whew, a lot of people were very opinionated about it. To me, it was no surprise, and I don't know why people were surprised with what he decided to do at Celine. And yes, there was a certain element of, oh, please do something other than what you've already shown us, but it's Hedi Slimane. He isn't going to change or break waves presenting you new ideas. He's doing what he did at Dior, doing what he did at SLP, and now he's doing it at Celine. Do I like it? I thought the collection was a bit meh. There's some really cool pieces, and I really hope that he kind of steps it up. Now the thing with Celine, obviously he never had a sort of menswear identity prior to him, so he kind of has a clean slate. With that being said though, he can definitely bring some elements of what Celine used to be for women's and kind of incorporate that in the menswear. And I think that would be a really cool thing to see. So that is Hedi Slimane at Celine. And then more recently, Raf Simons left Calvin Klein, which, let's be honest, shouldn't be a surprise, because although the pieces were great, they were fantastic, I'm a huge fan, they were just ridiculously expensive. Like, I can't think of a single piece of Calvin that I've purchased since Raf took over at full price. I've waited until 50, if not 70% off to cop them, and the fact that they still sat there at such highly discounted margins and price points kind of goes to show that he just, commercially, he just was not doing it. There's multiple reasons for it. I think Anthony DeLuca did a great video, which I will be sure to leave a card right here for you to click through and kind of see, just because I don't want to dive too much into it. But high price point, a different sort of market, and yeah, unfortunately it just didn't click. And now people are saying that he's going to take this opportunity to put more emphasis on his own line. I mean, bruh. I'm curious to see as to what he's going to do and the ideas that he's going to propose, but I'm not like expecting something ridiculous, something crazy that should come as a surprise. I think it will do well, I just don't think it will be great, which I know is going to piss off a lot of people. But hey, maybe I might go into more details, and if that's something that you wish to see, do let me know in the comment section down below. And last but certainly not the least, to wrap things up, because boy, I think this video is a bit too long, we've got the brand that I think is going to do amazing in 2019, and that is Dior. I could be wrong, but mark my words, I think they will have an amazing 2019. I think Kim's vision for the brand and the stuff that he's already presented in the sort of pre-collection or whatever it was, incredible. He's working with very talented people like the designer behind Ambush, I can't remember her name, I think it's Yun something, and Matthew Williams from Alex Leaks. So I think there's some really cool stuff coming for Dior in 2019. and they're gonna kill it. But that's just me. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you wish to follow me on my social media, it's all right here, Sangiev. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, share, subscribe, do all that other jazz. Phew! Before I end it off, quick reminder that if you wish to cop the chains, it's going to be in the description box down below. Thank you ever so much. I genuinely mean that, man, for all the support and the love that you've shown me over the last year with this release, with everything else. And I look forward to doing a lot more. There's only a couple left. Once they're gone, and we can then move on to my second drop, which I have planned for a few months' time. That is it from me. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Peace.